What's up? What's up? So everybody, what's going on? I'm waiting for my brother here. We're going to talk about Hell in a Cell. We're talking about well, my hair's messed up, bro. Hell in a Cell, Monday Night Raw, the WWE PPV, and AEW. So hopefully everything's going good on the live video. Here's Matt. So on.
Going on.
Working now. I think we go live. Hey, if it doesn't work, then who cares? Or just
upload it anyway.
Huh?
We'll just upload it anyway later. So
yeah.
But yeah, got the Hell in a Cell background here. Yeah, trying something a little fun and creative. Hopefully, I don't get copyright infringement or anything because I'm using a.
We'll be all right.
Cease and desist kind of thing.
We're live. I just checked, man. So we're gonna do this.
Nice. Well, welcome everybody. If anyone's even watching it live, I doubt anyone is. Or whatever.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So jump into that Hell in a Cell, I guess.
All right, let's go.
We're at Halloween Eve. We got Halloween tomorrow. But so perfect time to be talking about next couple things. But so well, I'm gonna start with my least favorite of the three things. Oh, we'll briefly touch on Orton McIntyre. Where I'm gonna get off here. Get off this. There we go. So we my least favorite. I mean, I shouldn't say it was least favorite. It was just most predictable for me. Orton McIntyre. They've met this was their fourth time. How many times are you going to let McIntyre just beat the hell out of Orton and
right?
No, come on. You knew it was coming. And that was the main event. I honestly would have. Granted, Roman and Uso were main event the last time out, so you kind of have to give it to somebody else. But yeah, I didn't think. I thought the Roman, but we'll get to that one later. The Orton McIntyre match, it was your typical Orton McIntyre match. It was, hard hitting, lots of action, but Orton won, and you knew that was going to happen. And that's kind of frustrating. That's the only thing that frustrates me about pro wrestling right now is that everything's so predictable.
Right. I thought it was gonna be the holy crap moment when Orton took up to the top of the cage, and Drew followed him up there. That'd have been epic if two big men fell from the top of the cage. I thought they were gonna do that. Wasn't it Undertaker and Mankind or somebody Mankind that went through the top?
Mankind got thrown off the top at King of the Ring back in the day. Yeah.
But didn't one of them go through the top back in the day? One of the fences broke out.
Well, that happened in two matches, both times with Mankind.
Yeah.
Mick takes a beating in those. Mick Foley, holy shit!
I was like, when I see them do that, I was like, oh dang, they're gonna do that. And that would have been awesome. I even thought they were gonna fall from the top.
They haven't done that, and well, I think Shane took the last big bump like that when he got thrown off at Mania a few years back.
But I think I agree with you, Matt, that that match was predictable. It's in due time that Orton was going to win. I think I love his character. I really do. I love his entrance music, even though it's been around for 10 years. I used to tease my wife about. I hear voices in my head, but she's probably watching. She's probably getting pissed at me, but it was like he's just a hard guy, and I love him. He's what old school is about. I remember when he got thumbs down by Batista and Triple H. He's been around. He's been doing some good stuff. I would say, if there was a face, if I had to put a face at WWE, I'd put him as a face. He's just amazing.
He, I'm glad they let him go back to the whole punt thing. I think that was really cool. I
Yeah,
thought the punt is where I enjoy it. But yeah, it was an okay match. It was
yeah. I don't think it was a end of the pay-per-view match though. Not
no I think I honestly would have put Sasha Banks Bailey after that match even.
I would have put Sasha Banks and Bailey as the ending match. I really like that match.
But the next moment was Otis Miz. The Tucker turning heel. That was what okay. You know, I thought that was kind of fun, but I'm glad that they took the Money in the Bank off of Otis, but who they should have put it on? No, you don't put that on the Miz.
No, I can't.
Done and
Yeah, there's got to be somebody else you can push as the Money in the Bank carrier. I don't agree with Miz. I don't agree with Otis having it. That was the stupidest Money in the Bank pay-per-view I ever watched. And then you give this guy that has no reason having a Money in the Bank briefcase, and look what happens. He makes a joke of the Money in the Bank briefcase, Matt. Ever. I mean, shoot, that's been 8 months, hasn't it? Been it's been 8 months since that pay-per-view, right?
Yeah, something like that. 6, 7.
My God, some redhead chubby guy.
It was after Mania. It was after Mania.
Right. So
about 5 months.
I agree with taking it off of him. It was a great way to take it off of him, but Miz, I don't think so. He's done.
I think AJ Styles would have been a better.
That'd have been a good fit. But when you throw the Miz, who's been around the block, and don't get me wrong, the Miz has some great. He can wrestle and he has some great story. He can cut awesome promos. But to put him, I don't know. Unless they're gonna make the heel turn with his buddy there,
John Morrison.
John Morrison turn on him, that'd be cool. But again, John Morrison, he's been around too, and I thought, other than that match, I thought the worst match of the night. I'm over the 24/7.
See, that I'm glad that they put that on the pre-show because no one cares and no one watches the pre-show.
24/7, 55/11. Who gives a shit? Whatever. You're done. Take it off.
It's just like, remember the Hardcore Championship? They had I'll defend it anytime, anywhere. Well, guess what?
Yeah.
It's a gimmick. It sucks.
Right.
The next match, the one thing I will say about this pay-per-view, violence everywhere. It was a violent pay-per-view. I loved it. It was one of the pay-per-views that in every match there was some sort of violence as far as like illegal hits. Like right down to the Jeff Hardy Elias match where Jeff Hardy got disqualified.
Yeah.
Is there it'd be really this wasn't in my notes, but you watch TNA. For the people who watch TNA, hear me out. I think this might be the start of going to not Brother Nero, but to his Willow character. With Black and the what do you call it? The umbrella and that kind of stuff. I think that would be another alter ego for Jeff Hardy. I can see it turning that way because that's kind of his heel persona. But yeah,
I'm just glad that they're not taking the route that they use with Orton and him with the alcohol and etc. And I am so over that gimmick or that way that Vince is doing that. So I'm glad to see him into just a regular wrestling match, you know. And I will say this: the pay-per-view, the episode before the pay-per-view, when Elias was doing his concert, you see that? I think it was SmackDown.
Yeah.
Was it SmackDown? And the guy was facing the back was facing the ring, and he started playing that electric guitar. I only wish that Matt Hardy could play. I don't know. He might be able to play the guitar, but that was a pretty good riff, man. That was a pretty good guitar solo. I just have to say that.
Well, he does his own music like that.
That was excellent. Yeah. So
all of his entrance music he writes and performs himself.
Awesome. I just think that I like the violence. I think if Vince is smart, he'd keep on doing it because AEW on whatever channel they're on, TNT, they got violence. They got a lot of violence, and I think to survive in the wrestling business, they got to go back to that Attitude Era violent stuff.
Well, okay, you had the Monday Night Wars with WCW and WWE. What won that for him? The Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Who was more violent? That's what it came down to. You had NWO starting it, but DX and WWE took it up to that next level,
right.
And that's what made WWE. That's one of the things.
Right.
WWE win the Monday Night Wars.
Absolutely.
And put WCW out of business. That and Vince had more money.
Right. So the Elias Hardy match it was okay. I mean, but it's predictable. I'm glad it ended in a DQ. I loved how Hardy did he get disqualified because he smashed the guitar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool.
He used the guitar. It wasn't a no DQ match. It was a regular match.
Yeah.
So,
I could care less about the Bobby Lashley match.
Quite honestly, I fast forward. There's only 3 matches that I watched. 4 matches I watched. I'm sorry. I watched Orton McIntyre. I watched Otis Miz. I watched Boston Sasha, which is the next one I want to talk about, and the Roman, the first match, Roman and Uso.
All right, what's your thoughts on the Bailey Sasha and Bailey match?
Violence again, violence. It was, and there's a difference between ECW violence and like just making sure everyone bleeds on every match. It gets a bit gratuitous and horrible. Like it's not done properly. But the next 2 matches I want to talk about, starting with this one, they told a story while they were being violent.
Yep.
And that's we have to look at it. If they're telling a story, then the violence is fine. If they're not telling a story, it's just being violent to be violent, and it's not right. It's not fun.
So yeah, there's that story I like the story. I like the whole storyline with Sasha Banks and Bailey. You know, they're best friends for however long, and you've seen there's always Sasha Banks being there for Bailey to save her from her, you know. And I loved how they built it up because Bailey wouldn't sign the contract because she was scared to get her butt kicked by Sasha. And that all led up into this violent match that really basically told the story of their whole last year. And it was a pretty good epic match. And that's one of my favorite matches of the night.
It was definitely, like I said, it tells a great story. It told the story of Sasha, you know, coming back from that neck injury that Bailey caused. She comes back. Very first thing she does is get that chair right out of the ring, and basically told Bailey, "Listen, it's just you and me.
Right.
You and me and 15 foot of steel, and I will beat your ass." That's basically that look that she had, and
she did have that was a mean act. That was a mean look, bro. That was like she looked pissed.
Sasha deserves that championship. She's the only she's the only woman on SmackDown. Yeah, I think she's the only woman on SmackDown that truly should be a champion. There's no one else on that SmackDown roster until Charlotte comes back. I don't even think she's on SmackDown. I think she's over on Raw. I'd have to really look at the rosters, but she's the only one that really deserves that championship.
Right. And I loved the ending of that match where she took that chair.
Oh, the bank statement. Yeah.
And she kept like kicking it. That was I was like, dude, stop. You're gonna kill that shit.
Heck. Yeah, we'll move right into that. Roman. I have big capital letters right here. Roman is a monster.
Yeah, he is.
He is probably, and I used to hate the guy. I used to absolutely hate him after the Shield broke up. He was turning into another John Cena. I was like, man, I hate this guy. You know, he's only Vince's guy because he's selling merch. He's only, he makes some money. All the soccer moms love him because he looks like Jason Momoa with all those friggin' just jacked gills. He sells merch. Okay, I get it. He's that, but I watched him on NXT before he became Roman, and well, he's always been Roman Reigns, but before he got huge and before he joined the Shield, and the man can talk, and which blows my mind that they're putting him with Paul Heyman, because usually if you put someone with Paul Heyman that can't talk or can't cut promos, but Roman can. But he can wrestle. But he has all of the elite talents. He should be the face of SmackDown. He should be.
I agree.
There's no one else on that show that deserves now anyway. Deserves that push. He is.
Right.
But yeah, Roman. I love this Roman. Love it. He is all about himself. He's doing what he should be. He's a monster. He shouldn't be worrying about and like I said on the last one, Cody Rhodes. Oh, I did it for the fans. No, you did it for yourself. Be that selfish champion. That we don't have one of those in wrestling right now. We don't have that, and
we definitely do now because man, Roman, he's all about himself.
Yeah, all about the seat at the table.
Yeah.
And
that's a great story. That's a great story to tell about their heritage, and I'm glad that's cool. But that was awesome. That match told a huge story, and I love the Usos, and it was cool how the match ended and how it just showed. I mean, I have the same love for my brother as Uso has for his brother. I would have quit too if he would have been getting choked out. I promise you.
You goddamn better well have.
But that was a cool ending. I was wondering how they're going to end it because I didn't want it to end it with a throw in the towel because you've seen that in wrestling the last couple months. I loved how they ended it with the brother coming down to help. And Jay wouldn't quit. But he quit when he seen his brother getting destroyed. So I like that. That was pretty cool. That was probably one of the best parts of the match, except for when Roman Reigns headed up the ramp, and that was pretty cool too.
Well, again, violent. It was violent, but violence with a purpose.
Yeah.
And like I said before, it told a story. Probably one of the holy shit moments that I had was the leather strap.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I was like, what?
I get it. Everybody says it's fake. Wrestling's fake. I don't care. I mean, you talk about them falling off the cell and crashing into the ladder. We talk about Sasha Banks doing that to Bayley. We talk about the strap. You're going to get hit. You better believe it's going to hurt.
Without question, yeah. It's going.
And come on, I want somebody else to get in that ring which says it's fake. It is fake. It's preempted. It's a scripted thing. But
I will back it up. It's not fake. It is scripted.
scripted, and you're gonna get hurt
Yes,
if you
you
don't do
will.
it
Yes, if you have someone like Nia Jax,
right. Yep.
someone who who hurts people not on purpose, but just doesn't know what the hell they're doing, it'll get to that point. Because I think she's hurt like 4 people. But um,
Good
no,
match.
it told a great story. It really did.
Yeah.
Um,
I've seen people talk about. They said there was too much talking going on during the match, as far as Roman and Jay, and
that
not
to me that added to it. I thought
right.
that added to it.
Too. I thought so too.
I
So
mean, it's that's the one thing. Like, at least it wasn't theatrical, and we'll get to that in the next.
right. But yeah, it was violent for sure. Lots of violence. Everywhere from Roman Reigns throwing the steps at that was pretty sick. When he took the steps and smashed his face against the pole, the ring post, that was epic.
I kind of chuckled when Roman the first time he tried throwing it over the top ropes, and
That was I was like,
that
yeah,
wasn't
okay.
supposed to happen.
But he recovered from it. That was pretty cool. So
Yeah, I was watching it with Drew, and Drew turns to me, and goes, "That wasn't supposed to happen." I'm like, "You are absolutely 100% correct."
right. But I liked how it ended with that's his are they their uncles?
One was his dad, and one was his uncle,
Yeah.
Alpha, and
They're
the Wild
old.
Smoke.
They're
Well,
old.
shoot, you got to think when we were watching them, they were Wild Samoan's been around since like
Yeah.
the 70s, so
Yeah.
they yeah.
I'm curious where it's going to go from here. I want to watch SmackDown. I want to see what's going to happen with them. I wonder if they're going to make Jay fall in line, and are they going to force him to do a Shield type thing with them? And is he going to? I think he's going to. That's what they're going to go for, but I think he's going to be reluctant at first, and then realize that, hey, this is the only way I'm going to get gold, so I'm going to do it, and but I don't know how far you can run with a group like that. I don't know where they could go next. So
Well, I think there's a lot of people saying that this is going to open up. Roman's going to keep going until possibly Mania, and since Mania's scheduled, that doesn't mean it's going to happen because of the whole COVID stuff. But they're talking that Mania is going to be in Hollywood,
yeah,
and that it's going to be Rock, Roman. And honestly, if that happens, I wouldn't be surprised if. I mean, you're obviously not going to let the Rock, who hasn't been in the ring for what 3 4 years to actually wrestle. You won't see him win the darn thing, but I think
right.
you might see him back in the ring.
Right. I heard that I have to do my research, but they're talking the place that they were going to have WrestleMania in Hollywood. They booked something else, so they're not sure what they're going to do. So that'd be interesting. But before we get off of Hell in a Cell, um, I had a thought. No, I don't. I'll come back to it if I have it comes back to me. But it was a good pay per view. I'm all right with it.
I
Um,
I'll
fun
agree with
watch.
pay per view. We had 4 out of the 6 matches were solid.
Yeah.
So I'll give it a C plus B minus kind of grade because it wasn't it was up and down.
Right. I'd give them a C plus. I think C plus because I think they missed a couple things. I think with the Fiend and Alexa Bliss storyline happening, I think they missed it. I think if the way they went into Raw and they did Raw with Drew McIntyre and Orton and the Fiend. I think you could have had the Fiend interrupt or show up during the Hell in a Cell match. I think that'd have been good, but I think leaving him off the show, man, I think you missed the boat.
Well, there was really nothing for him to do because
Yeah, but you bring him out for something. He would have been a huge pop. Retribution. Where was Retribution? I mean, come on. You build them up, and then you don't use them.
They were there. They had that. I don't even. That's how irrelevant they are right now. I think because I don't even know the guy's name. But yeah, the match against.
That's right. That's right. But yeah, that should have been a pre-show match too.
Yeah.
Can't stand their business, but that's okay. So where are we going now?
We're gonna go to next night. You got the Raw. Again, the night after pay-per-views usually are horrible shows. They'll either go really high or they'll just be absolute garbage. And there was 3 things that happened that were kind of cool. The match of the night was AJ versus Jeff Hardy.
Yeah.
I mean, that was the only match worth watching. I mean, McIntyre versus The Miz. It was
the Lucha House Party with Drew Gulak. No, they need to get rid of that.
Yeah, the Lucha House Party should just go over to 205 Live. There's a reason why we don't talk about them because.
Right, Keith Lee. That was a good match. It was kind of right.
Who'd he have? He had
Elias.
Okay, yeah. Keith Lee, they got to make him into a monster, but
they got to do something. Yeah, they got to do something with him. You bring him off NXT. He was supposed to be huge, and now it's just like,
Yeah, that's the problem with WWE right now. They have too many big old monster guys. They don't have enough. It's not spread out like it should be. But
I think the huge segments I liked was the Firefly Funhouse and the Randy Orton Fiend segments. Those are pretty good.
I have that written down. Let him in is the whole let him in segment with Randy.
And the one where wasn't that the Alexa Bliss's talk show?
Yeah,
she is a creepy woman. I'm telling you.
I like it.
And she just had that smile and that grin, and he's like, she offered Randy Orton a seat, and he goes, "No, I don't think so, because I know what you're doing, you weirdo."
Yeah, that was. She'd been doing stuff like that. Like if you've seen her, gear at some of these pay-per-views.
Yeah.
She's done the Harley Quinn. She's done a couple of years ago she did Freddy Krueger.
Yeah.
She done all those like horror movies things, and it's kind of a like she likes that genre of movie, and it's she has a lot of fun with the way she does it. But yeah, I think pairing her and the Fiend together, again, we've said this before, it's a perfect fit.
Wasn't the Funhouse the one where she brought in cyanide and gave it to the rabbit? And
yeah, what was it? What she it wasn't ether. It was
I can't remember what it
was. Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it was, but the Firefly Funhouse and how she killed the rabbit was kind of.
That was pretty. That was pretty cool.
I can see her like what they're doing is probably going to end up being killing off all the puppets, going around, probably going to kill them all off. because they're real.
Who's
You
next?
know,
The pig? The Richard
huh?
Simmons? Who's next? The Richard Simmons pig?
Yeah, probably. And then, well, shoot, that the witch, she went and did the whole off with her head deal.
Yeah. Yeah.
My dog's gonna go nuts here in a minute. Just warning.
But
Uh,
that those segments with her and the Fiend and Orton, that was what to me, and that's what made the show. I'm getting to the point where I fast forward through a lot of the show because it's pointless.
well, that's why they're for I mean, for all intents and purposes, I watch as much as I can, but I YouTube a lot of it
Yeah.
because I want to see the high spots. I want to see the things that I
Huge
want to see
spot.
that. Yeah, I want to see the huge pops. I mean, Raw was mediocre at best.
Yep. Absolutely.
And I'm hoping that the writers get that now that they have the talent there. Hopefully, they can.
I'd rate it as a D.
And it's got a soft C. Yeah, it's just.
Wasn't
Moving
coming
on.
off pay-per-view, that's for sure.
This next Wednesday night, Halloween Havoc.
Want to go Halloween Havoc first?
Yeah, or if you want to go into AEW, that's fine.
Let's go Halloween Havoc.
This like the first one. First match, we'll just get the garbage out of the way first. I love Dexter Loomis's character. Again, it's a creepy bastard kind of like, I've Dexter Loomis is amazing, but Cameron Grimes, I've about had enough of that Joker. Don't make me go, Mr. Regal. Gosh, Garly G. Like,
Yep.
no, I'm done with him. Absolute garbage match. Love the finish.
I agree. I can't stand, and I've said this before when I talked on the phone. I know that we have to do things differently because of the pandemic. I get it. But they're not good at doing the theatrical stuff.
They
And
were able to do it once.
they
And
did
that
it
was because
once.
you had
In
they
my
were
opinion,
able to do it.
the Undertaker AJ Styles one was the best.
Yeah, because you had two guys
Yes.
and you had Triple H. Let's see who all was involved in filming that. Triple H. I think Shawn Michaels was involved. You had a great mind like Undertaker. AJ's he had a lot of people who had a big vision, and they did what. And honestly, it was theatrical, but there was a lot of impact, a lot of violence. Not violence, but a lot of fighting.
Right.
With the poorly lit house and that like they were trying to be a B-side horror film.
Right.
Like a creep show kind of Tales from the Crypt kind of thing. It's like
I liked when they brought it back, but when they brought it back to the ring at the end of it, it ended pretty good.
That's what I said. Great finish to a horrible match.
Yep.
And it went through the whole goddamn show. Like it started after. Didn't it start right after Johnny Gargano Damian Priest match?
Yes.
It started right after that, and it went the whole thing.
It seemed like it took up. Yeah. I was like,
they
come
did
on.
5-minute segments throughout the whole thing. It's
Right.
like,
And no, they missed the boat on that. They goofed that one up. The one you just said, Damian Priest.
Yeah, that led off the show, and tell you what,
that could have finished. Well, no, they finished the show really good. We'll get to that later. But that was not, in my opinion, I guess that was a great way to start the show because I was pumped because I hate NXT as a rule. I don't hate it. I just don't get into it. But on Wednesday, I said I think I watched more NXT than I did AEW. That's weird for me, but NXT, yeah, they did a good job on this pay-per-view in some aspects. But that match was pretty sweet, especially all the violent chair hitting, and on top of that, I will say this: Halloween Havoc and the props that they had around the ring for the whole show was amazing. The smoke coming up, that was amazing. They had really good stuff. They blew. I would even say this: it blew away Hell in a Cell's pay-per-view as far as the props and the stuff like that.
The set was definitely better.
Yeah.
The Priest, the Johnny and Damian Priest match, the whole the Ghostface deal.
Yeah.
Whatever it or she or he or whatever whoever it was, we'll see her later or them later, but it was a cheap way to win. But Johnny Gargano is not your babyface anymore.
Right.
So he's got to do something heel-ish. So he did, like, they wrote that in there. But I think the thing that I was like, okay, I like when guys do, how Rey Mysterio for every pay-per-view, he got some crazy gear.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano came out wearing what was it the guy from Jack Skeleton?
Yep.
From Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, yeah, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was my number 3 match of the night as far as like 1, 2, and 3. I think they were number 3. That was a hell of a match, but
there was a lot of holy shits going on throughout the whole event. I mean, the fans were like that were able to watch it via whatever they call it now. But
and the next thing I want to touch on was the Pat McAfee segment.
Yeah, that was my favorite. I'm sorry, I love Pat McAfee.
So, well, he's that idiot kicker.
He's that idiot kicker. Some idiot kicker. Couldn't make it in the NFL, so he became a wrestler.
I like Pat McAfee. Great on the microphone for a professional football player. He got great skills on the mic.
I can tell you this: he's better than Gronkowski and some of the other guys that came over. Lawrence Taylor, remember him?
Yeah, with Bam Bam.
With Bam Bam, yeah. So there was a lot of other NFL players that tried to do what McAfee's doing, and McAfee, in my opinion, is far better.
The whole Pete Dunne returning. Pete Dunne looks freaking.
Pete Dunne, yeah.
The bruiserweight they call him, but he is jacked. Like, I like his new look, and it sucked that he kind of turned on O'Reilly like that. But you can't stop coming because you have only Lorcan and that other and his tag team partner, both from NXT UK. So you kind of had to see that coming a little bit, but that was a great segment.
That's how they ended the show, isn't it? No, they ended the show with the women's title, right?
Yeah, and they've been doing that a lot because I think that the women's division, as far as the matches they're putting on, are putting on better main event style matches than the men are.
Yeah, I agree.
Because especially when you don't have Finn in the lineup because of a broken jaw.
Right.
I think if Finn, I don't know who Finn would have. Probably Finn and Adam Cole again or something. But the next one I wanted to talk. I love Rhea Ripley.
It's not collected because they won't let me go to ours. We have to change that.
Wouldn't let you go to.
Our Matt and I's place. So I'll keep on talking, Matt. Miss Edie just asked me where we're broadcasting.
Okay. Yeah, we're I think Rhea Ripley, that to me, she just insane, like crazy good.
Yeah,
she
is.
she is in like what Roman is. She is I'm gonna beat the hell out of you when like for the whole thing.
She did. She tried to make a run in on the Big Show, right? On the Raw.
No, she's never been brought up. Charlotte came down to challenge her at Mania.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. She's a hard nosed girl.
Thing is, where would you put her? Because I mean, I think they're doing it right, keeping her down until they lose someone else.
You think she'll come up and face Sasha Banks? You think?
No, no. But that who she fight?
She fought have it in my notes. Hold on. She fought Raquel Gonzalez.
Yes. That was two big women just beating the hell out of each other.
That was
two tall, muscular, just
body shots after body shots after body shots. It was just crazy. Kicks and punches everywhere.
Yeah.
Violent.
In my opinion, Rhea Ripley should be the next NXT champion.
Yeah.
But it probably won't happen that way. And then the women's match was the best match of the night. The tables, ladders, and scares match.
Yeah.
Now, before we get too far into there, remember Shotzi Blackheart is she was the host of this event, and she's a character in and of her. Like she's like the definition of a character.
Right.
And I enjoy her. I think she's something that she's like I don't know how to describe her, but she's like the Elvira of NXT.
Okay. Yeah.
Candice LeRae, Io Shirai in that tables, ladders, and chairs matches. That was again violent. Like the whole week.
Great ending.
Throwing her through the chairs or through the tables from pretty much the top of the ladder.
That was cool.
Are you kidding me? And now we've seen stuff like that out of men.
Right.
But to see a woman do that, and I'm not, I don't want to like be that person. That was a holy shit moment.
That was.
Like,
absolutely.
You don't see that. And I'm glad that they finally let the women do stuff like that. They've been kind of shying away from those high spots, but I think they're realizing let them do those high spots, and you're going to get huge pops.
Right, huge pops. Yep. No, that was amazing. That when she fell from the top of that thing, she just laid motionless there, and I'm like, I think they could have done away with the scary face man or whoever it is. What it was coming up and lifting her up to the to the ladder.
I'm glad Shotzi got involved with that.
Yeah,
I thought that was a really cool moment too when Shotzi came in and be like, no, you're not going to ruin my show.
Right. So I guess that segment was okay with that, but I don't know. Those two women fought hard. They fought hard and tough. And it was just that fall again. I go back to if you aren't trained and you don't do this right, you can make tons of mistakes. Well, at any given night, you can make a mistake. And I'm sorry, when you land on your back onto some steel ladders, that's not going to feel comfortable.
Shoot, you could be like that guy in the internet wrestling scene where did you see that?
Yeah, the one who broke his legs.
Yeah, he broke both of them at the same time.
jumping backwards off the ropes.
Yeah, he wasn't even wrestling.
No. Or that guy, the shirtless guy that jumps into tax, or no, that guy's an idiot. Anyways, I don't know his name. Next time, I'm gonna look your name up, dude. I'm gonna give you mad props next time we have next week, because maybe we might do a review on him, because he is like an idiot.
Get him on the show. We'll talk to him. Reach out to him. Be like, hey.
So
I'm gonna I think the one that I'm like, why, is when he did the elbow off onto the microwave.
Yes.
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
Why?
So let's talk about my show.
Well,
that's in the same night, and it's hard. And I give that pay-per-view a B+. That Halloween Havoc.
Let me rustle through my notes. Like Jim Rowe. But anyway. There was 4 parts of the show that I liked.
God. Includes MJF.
He's better than you, and you know it.
I'm glad they went the way they did. And
meeting, you complained about them having dinner together, and now they're having a damn presidential debate. Are you kidding me?
But they ended it right. They ended it with Jericho challenging MJF at the pay-per-view.
And you know damn well that MJF's going to kick his ass.
Well, that's what and that's what I like about Jericho. I used to hate the guy, but now that he's on AEW, he's doing the right thing. He's putting over these young guys. And yes, you're right. Jericho's going to lose, and MJF will be part of the that group that he has.
Oh, yeah.
They're setting it up for a fraction. You know what I'm saying? A faction. They're setting it up for that, and I appreciate that. So, just like Jericho put over Orange Cassidy, he's putting over MJF. And by the way, I'll let my brother tell you about his new uprising of this character that I love.
I don't love Orange Cassidy.
Oh.
I enjoyed one of the promos. It was actually last week's episode.
You're in denial, man. You're in denial. You like Orange Cassidy?
Orange Cassidy by himself. Orange Cassidy is entertaining.
So what are you gonna tell me? You're gonna hate on Darby Allin too?
No, I love Darby Allin.
All right.
I love Darby Allin.
Anyways,
he's crazy enough. He's crazy enough. He is a skinnier version of Jeff Hardy.
Yep. So
not like anyway.
Town hall discussion was stupid. Yeah, you're right. It was stupid, but I'm glad they ended it with Jericho challenging MJF. But you're right. We all know that it's predictable. We know the ending.
And MJF is essentially going to take over the Inner Circle. You know that
because he's better than you.
Better than Chris Jericho, and he knows it.
Yep. So.
Yeah. That was a good segment. Eric Bischoff came out during that segment. That was kind of cool.
Let's get the women's out of the way. The women's division on AEW sucks.
They have a women's division in AEW?
I guess. Yeah, but I didn't watch that part, so I don't even know nothing.
I didn't either.
That's how worthless it is.
Yeah.
I loved the Matt Sydal Eddie Kingston match, only because I love seeing Eddie Kingston. He is lost his mind. He's fell off. He's on the pissed off mode, and I have a feel, and he's gonna overstep his boundaries, and he's gonna get his ass beat come the pay-per-view against Moxley.
Yeah, I didn't. Putting him against a guy like Matt Sydal. Matt Sydal, he used to be Evan Bourne, I think, over in WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You're in that casino battle royal, and the first thing you do is you try to do an off the top rope thing and you fall. You slip off the top rope. Move along. Go take the next plane back to ROH, go back to Impact Wrestling, learn how to wrestle, and then come back.
Right.
You are not. You're an indie wrestler.
What's your favorite match of the night?
No disrespect to guys like that are possibly watching that are indie wrestlers, but that's a rookie mistake.
Just like that one with months ago when Cody Rhodes was in the midst of getting his butt kicked by somebody, and the guy jumped on top of Cody Rhodes. I remember seeing it on YouTube. He punched, and he was like 4 feet away from his punch when he punched.
That's either two things are happening there. Either he botched the punches, or the camera angle really screwed up.
Right. Well, Cody said it was his. He was mad. He told the other guy, he goes, "I don't ever want to do a segment with you again." So Roman Reigns throwing the steps, trying to throw the steps over the ropes. That was botched. That was a mistake. But anyways, back to what was your favorite match of that night of the AEW?
The match of the night, and I will fight someone over this. Kenny once again was in the match of the night. Kenny and Penta, those two guys put on a hell of a show. I mean, it had your high spots, it had your taunting, it had everything you'd want to have with a Kenny Omega match, and Penta doing the thing right Kenny's face. That it told the story. It was violent without weapons, and it was just action from the start.
As far as action, I agree. I agree with you as far as action goes. It was probably the most action-filled match. I would say the lumberjack match was my favorite, but that Kenny Omega Penta match was good. But I was watching it and I knew who wins. You already knew who wins. I would have and the thing is Pentagon he could have beat him. Any other storyline he'd win.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. He wins.
That's like Hangman versus Wardlow.
Yeah. Wardlow could beat him.
Wardlow, quite honestly, if it would have been any other, like you just said, if it would have been any other, Wardlow gets over. Wardlow beats Hangman.
So let's go to prediction. Let's throw a prediction out here. You obviously know it's going to be Omega and Hangman. So who wins? Who do you give it to?
If I'm running the show, I got to give it to Kenny.
Yeah.
And I think Kenny, in the end, will end up, after he wins, going full-fledged heel, just like the Bucks are. I think you see him
teaming up with the Bucks. Yeah. I think you're right. I think Omega. Yep. Omega would be that. Yep. That makes sense. My favorite, I like the overtop battle royal, not the battle royal, but the lumberjack match. I love the end of it. It was just like Darby Allin being up in the rafters. I was like, ooh, that's a sting. That's another awesome way to end the show. So I liked it.
I think one of my favorite parts too is the Bucks FTR segment. And if they don't win at Full Gear, they don't get another title shot.
Right. Yep.
On Cody Rhodes. I hope you have to almost let the Bucks win that match.
Yep. Absolutely. I think so.
Have to.
I love how Arn Anderson got involved in that lumberjack match. When he, I don't know if he punched the guy or hit him in the back or something like that. That was pretty cool. But you're right. I think the Young Bucks have to win that match. So.
Well, we got, since Full Gear's next Saturday, I wrote down the Full Gear card. Actually, the matches that I would want to watch anyway.
Yeah.
You got the Bucks versus FTR. We just got done talking about that. I think I'm gonna go ahead and circle. I think the Bucks win that one.
Yeah, I think so.
Y2J MJF. We said this earlier. I think MJF wins.
Yep.
Because he's better than Chris Jericho and he knows it.
Yep.
Omega and Adam Page. This is one of those coin flip style, but to do it right, I think you got to go go Omega.
I agree.
You got to go Omega winning that one, and get him fully turned heel. I think you got to go that route.
Yeah.
Kobe and Darby Allin. Wow. That they've wrestled before. It was in what match? When was it? It was I want to say it was at Double or Nothing.
It might have been, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
The very first pay-per-view that AEW put on, and they went to I think a 25-minute match, and it was a draw. No one pinned anybody. I think Cody retains, but it's going to be another really epic match. I
don't know, man. I think it's Darby Allin's turn. I think you might see that might be the shocker moment. That might be the huge pop of the night where they just give it to Darby Allin. So,
and then the last one is of course Moxley versus Kingston, and John Moxley. If they take it off of Kingston, or if they take it off Moxley and give it to Kingston, I don't know. I don't like.
They better have a plan with something big happening right around the corner, because I think that'd be dumb.
Yeah, they need to keep it on Moxley, and for Moxley. Well, at the beginning, that's another match that they had in the first pay-per-view of AEW was Moxley versus Omega in that street fight. And
right.
I think in a wrestling match, if you go just a straight wrestling match, I think Kenny can beat Moxley in a big match.
Those are the highlights of the week, the wrestling week. We'll be back. What are we doing Friday next week?
Yeah, Friday again next week.
Friday work?
Friday's good for me.
So,
but next Friday we can still probably do it in the morning, but then we'll have to switch it to 1 o'clock ish.
So part of our thing that we want to do also is show our collectibles that we get, and I have 3 boxes sitting in front of me, so we're gonna unbox so my brother can give me some opinions of the pro wrestling loot.
Yeah, I haven't got my box yet. I'm a little
from the wrestling box, pro wrestling loot. So let's quickly see what's in it. We're gonna do a shirt. Got a shirt already. This goes right along with Halloween Havoc.
Oh, that's sick. Spin the wheel.
Spin the wheel. Then they got you a pin in here of Rodriguez, the announcer. Remember him?
Alberto Del Rio. By the way, he's in jail.
Then they got some trading cards.
Huh.
I won't go through all of them. I don't know. Then they got, you'll like this. Props to this guy, man. This guy, he passed away here recently. This is good. I like it. Great props. So.
Oh, Kamala.
Yeah.
There's a story. There's a video of Mean Gene he was late for a promo because they used to cut promos before the show. And he's like, "How come you? Why didn't you make the show in St. Louis, Kamala? But you were shacked up in some hotel in Chicago." He goes, "Well, I need a little fucky." Oh, that's Hunter Liger.
Yeah. And then you always get a 8x10 autograph through Pro Wrestling Loot. Holy crap. I'm a little disappointed that my mailman messed this up.
What'd you get? Oh, Ray.
So
That's badass.
that is sweet.
619, booyaka, booyaka.
I'm waiting for his Funko Pop to get back here I got it autographed. So that was just Pro Wrestling Loot fans. If we have any fans, I don't know if we do or not, but that's okay. We just do it for fun. Pro Wrestling Loot mystery box. That was the week in review of wrestling pay-per-views. Next week we'll join us on Friday.
Yeah, hopefully I'll have a box to review.
There you go. 9:30 in the morning on Fridays. 10 o'clock at 10:30 in the morning up in Michigan land over on the East Coast. I don't give a crap what time it is over on the West Coast. It's early. So we're out.
Yeah, because it was too sweet.
See you, man.
All right, have a good one.
I will. You too. We gotta go Walmart now, man.
Yeah, I gotta head out to Drew will be home soon.
Peace.
Gotta go do some laundry. So I gotta work this weekend. So
all right, peace out, man.